So the first thing we would do is set the stage the night before, acknowledge in the morning, and then do our best to stay on that high-flying disc as best we could through the day. We've written book after book after book and filled them with process after process after process, all with the intention of helping you to release resistance. And all of them are effective. The better you get at understanding how these laws of the universe work, the more you can apply these processes. Recently, we've been saying to you, and we mean it with everything that we have, don't work too hard at trying to get back on the disc, because once you fall off, there's enough momentum that almost any struggle or effort that you offer will be counterproductive to you. Because we love you so much, you get defensive. We love you so much, you try to justify. We love you so much, you try to explain to somebody who's not even asking. Well, you see, why I'm not on the disc is because of that and that and that and that and that. The less airtime you give to the explanation of why you don't feel good, the less you'll hold yourself in that other momentum that is counter to what you want. So we just be as happy as we can be, as long as we could be. And then when you're aware that you have fallen or that you have chosen a different disc, then we would apply these simple techniques. We would say to ourselves, I'm aware that I'm not really where I want to be. And I'm aware that any attention I give to being where I don't want to be is just going to practice that vibration longer. So I'm going to do the best job I can of distracting myself from whatever it is that is at the heart of this newfound, less than positive, somewhat negative emotion. Then these are the tools that we would utilize in this order. If we could, we would take a nap, because slumber will start the day over again. If that's not practical, we would meditate. Quieting the mind accomplishes the same thing. And if you've been meditating for a while, you'll get really, really good at it. Making a list of positive aspects isn't a really good tool under those conditions, because you're already not on a very good disc. And so you're going to say it, but you're not going to mean it. And when you say things you don't mean, you just practice what you do mean. You see what we're getting at? So what we're talking about here is just managing your alignment, managing your connection to what? Your connection to the energy, your connection to the vibration, your connection to the vibration of source, your connection to the influence of source, your connection to the path of least resistance to everything that you want. You getting the sense of this? After a few days of playing with this, you're going to begin to notice, some of you already are noticing, synchronicity in your life, rendezvous with things that you cannot help but understand is the universe setting you up for understanding about thing after thing after thing. Esther said, I need to start writing this stuff down, because it's happening with such speed that it's intoxicating, first of all, to see how many things that the universe can orchestrate that equal, for Esther, evidence of that alignment. We wanted to say earlier in the conversation that what life is for all of you is this moment and how you feel, period. It's this moment and how you feel, period. We know that's sort of a boring thing to contemplate, but it is this moment and how you feel, period. That's what life is. It's always this moment and how you feel, period. And when you start at the beginning of the day caring about how you feel, noticing how you feel, and tending to how you feel, and then have awareness of how you feel, you're off and running in deliberate creation, the likes of which almost nobody that you ever know will be doing. In other words, just that little bit of conscious awareness at the beginning of the day, and then anything that you can do. We think it's a really good thing when you realize that you're not where you want to be, to just hold the image of falling out of an airplane and hearing Abraham saying, hang on, it'll be over in a little bit. And just don't sweat over it, don't suffer over it, don't struggle over it. And this is the thing that we can feel it with you, we can feel it with all of you, we feel it with Esther on a daily basis. You are efforting at the wrong times. When you effort from a lower flying disc, you only practice the momentum of the lower flying disc. The harder you try, the more you encourage the momentum. And it's because of this powerful universal law. The more general you are, the more you slow the momentum. The more specific you are, the more you speed the momentum. So we'd plan the night before. We'd do our best that morning. We'd fly as high as we can. We'd crash and burn if we have to. We wouldn't sweat the small stuff, and it's all small stuff. And then we would acknowledge that this effort that I'm applying right now is counterproductive under these conditions. Or this attention that I am applying right now is productive under these conditions. And what's the condition? If it feels good, you want to be specific. If it doesn't feel good, you want to be general. That's really a good tool. It's really a good thing to understand. So somebody comes to you and they say, you know, I have an issue. It's someone at work. I have an issue about such and such. So as soon as they walk into your space, you feel yourself potentially slipping from that high-flying disc. So what would, given what we've just said to you, your best course of action be? To say to them, oh, really? What is the problem? More specific. Or to say to them, I have to go to the bathroom. Or to say to them, you're one of the best problem solvers I've ever known. Let me know how it turns out. Or to say to them, I'm on a high-flying disc. And talking to you is a very high probability that I soon won't be on a very high-flying disc. Now let me explain to you about the high-flying disc. I want to be on the high-flying disc. You want me to be on the high-flying disc. Now, most people aren't ready for this conversation. You really have a wonderful benefit if you're hanging around with people that do know about the high-flying disc. In other words, once you get the hang of this and you're hanging around together and somebody comes with you with some sort of problem, just point upward like, just leave it at that. Just leave it at that. Because as soon as you say, do we really want to go there? You've gone. Helpful?
Very. Thank you.